Hello, and I'm back with more Zeepkist. And we start with 50 fallen pieces, and honestly I think we already play this map, and I think it's submitted once more just because there's some new tweaks, updates here. But honestly, as I remember this level, there's not a lot of changes. The only thing that I found that change its amount of trash cans and snowmans near the finish. It's become less. But all other parts as like track layout, it's mostly the same. And I definitely believe that you can do it faster than like 55. And until we're driving this level, please consider to subscribe. If you're new, there are a lot of Zeepkist in this channel. A Predator flight. I don't know what is Predator flight, but I already seen this loop trick before and it's cool if you can do it, and I honestly like when you do it correctly. If I done it right, then I have enough speed to make the next jump, and after the jump all other parts are not so difficult. It's basically straightforward track with couple transition, and that's it. But as I constantly say, it's really great when hard elements are at the beginning, so you have more attempts to do it, and if you do it, then great, you can finish later for more faster time. Life is hard. It's a hard track, and for this moment when I recorded it, it's not eligible just because after time 25. But honestly, I think that lower border of after time, it's really strange because you can do your track really slow and basically braking for like 5 seconds at the beginning. But for the track layout, I think you can done it just with luck because there are so many bounds, and honestly I don't really like such types. You just rely on unity bounds. Flore 01. This is, I would say, interesting idea of your choice, where you can do like first point of view, third point of view. It's completely symmetrical part, and interesting idea at the end, like where you need to find the perfect place or perfect spot to make your turn to the end, that your box was pushed by the fan and not lose a lot of speed. So it's really difficult, and it's cool that you can do it. You need to figure it out. So yeah, I love it. Redline. And I'm not a big fan of track where you need to do up to faster than 200 kilometers per hour because Unity don't like it, or this game don't like it. It's no matter, you're losing your grip when you steering with this speed. And after all these couple jumps and transition, it's not, all other parts are not really hard. It's just checkpoint fan and the loop, which is narrow, but it's not hard, it's doable. Lucky. And yes, this is all about lucky. For me, it was pretty RNG moment of landing, where you need to land and not lose any of your wheels. Also, all these jumps are also like all for luck. And I spent like 3-4 minutes and all my jumps finish with like losing wheels. And also I was lucky because I was slow, and I was slow enough to, even if I done this higher jump, I still managed to finish it because I could like fly over and miss it. But it's, I believe it's easily done. You can do like really faster than after time, like really faster. if you can't hang. And I don't know, it's doable track, but the first jump, I think it's really hard. You need to aim, you have this blind jump, and for faster players, for pro players, let's say, like top 10 to top 20, I believe they could done it easily. For me and more casual players, let's say this way, I could say it's harder, but yet again, after this jump, other part of the track's not so hard, and I believe, again, if you done this jump, there's no any speed checks, so you just can drive to the finish. Dropkix. I always say that snow and ice not my favorite tracks, and the grass is third one because it's completely different way of grip, and this has made your track harder and your steering are different from other part, and because of it I believe there's some cut where I was doing like this half U-turn outside. I believe with this amount of speed you can jump it. Yes, the problem is that it's blind jump, so you need to aim or find your sweet spot, sweet place to jump over and continue. And again, for my opinion, it could save you like a second. Wrapped Canyon. I don't like all this red color scheme, but I enjoy this track. It's the first time when I saw this transition from like starting the loop and back again, and all these lights that stay on the track during the turning are on a perfect spot where I put my soapbox when I try to turn. So interesting ideas, not a great color for me. Heliotrope Road. Surprisingly for me, I enjoy an idea of this track. It was interesting where for me it was challenging to find the perfect balance of speed and turning to have and done all this jump. It feels nice, but again, I think it's easily could be done like lower than 30 seconds. Bobsled 50 blocks. Surprisingly, it was pretty easy track. From the first attempt I finished it, and yeah, that's why I think it was easy. But then when I tried to do some tweaks to improve my time, it was really hard for me to do it. Couple really hard moments here. It's transition inside the pipe when you have turned to right, then almost instantly into the left. And another one, it's when you go out from the pipe on wall ride, which also needs your attention and correct way to set up your soapbox. And then it was really interesting and tricky moment when you need to go out from wall ride into the hole to jump into the finish, which I believe the place where I could definitely save more time and beat after time. Half of Flore. Well, for me it was pretty hard track because of a lot of different jumps, a lot of wind and jump and transition, which I not really like because of unity bounce. It was my, let's say, nemesis for this track for like whole 7 minutes, and I was just lucky to finish it basically on my last attempt. And yeah, it's luck. Several times I was hitting these spikes at the end because of how I set my soapbox during this track, so it was pretty hard. But the main thing for such track is just aim and landing in most ideal position for continue your driving. End of the world. And there is a couple of track that problematic for me. This one of them, it was posted like a long time. I will be in top 20, top 30 first ones. And because how this level was done and made, it's all ice with reddish, so it was really hard for me to find the proper landing. So I considered to try it later, and I was pretty lucky to finish it from like, I wouldn't say this is my first attempt or first round of 7 minutes, so I would say in 30 minutes I finished this track, and I can show you all small tricks and how I do it. Name brand, and this is another problematic track for me, but for other people it wasn't. During open lobby a lot of people finish it, they pretty enjoy it. I also find a couple of elements where I never face enough. Red part is pretty easy one, blue one is most difficult, and I believe it's most longest. So the first element, it was outer corner with jump, which was problematic for a long time for me, and I was like failing for like a couple of rounds. And second is your transition on the tube, when you need to go from one side to another side of the tube and be sticky to your side to not crash, to not lose your grip and fall off. And it's problematic because you can't jump, because if you will jump there is a loop at the end and you won't have enough speed to do the loop, and after the loop there is like a small speed check jump, which again, if you won't have enough speed after the loop you will crash, which again happens for me several times. So in all these parts made this track really hard for me. 50 knots. And this is the last track with the same idea, which is really hard for me, but some people done it. And because of narrowing, with all these narrow parts of this track, I would say it's hard. I believe when we played in open lobby, from like 25-27 people in open lobby, just like 5 or 7 finished this track, and it's all because all this transition and faster speed. So box are behave differently on different part of the speed, and you can steer in different areas because you have these smokes, and when you have smoke from the wheels you lose in grip. So it's really hard, and as you can see for me, I like reset time couple times and I was failing at the last turn when you need to drive left or right. It's another problem for this track, constantly changing of your camera perspective. So yeah, I consider this track is hard for me, but also it's hard for everyone. But again, I done it even with like spending almost 20 minutes, but still it's doable. I wouldn't say I like it, it's problematic, but well, such levels also find their fans. Okay guys, thanks for watching part 6 of track review for ZSL 50 blocks. There definitely will be 7-part final, which I will call something like ZSL Pain. There will be levels that I couldn't finish yet, so there will be 2 possibilities, or I find someone who finished them and just watch how he doing it and show you, or just going through photo mode and show these tracks. But some of them are just my skill issues, some of them are basically unplayable or RNG, so we'll see, and thanks for watching, see you next time, bye.